Hey, this is Janelle, the relationship coach behind The Successful Invisible. And I'm coming to you with a dating tip that comes from me minding my business, being nosy on TikTok. And I came across quite a few videos where you had men of various ages, I would say 20s through 50s actually, so it was quite an age range, speaking about, their dominant and their alpha and, all the buzzwords that we often hear in dating speak, in social media, etc. And the dating tip is drop men who use words like they're dominant, they're alpha, etc. Drop them. Block their numbers. If you're on a date and they say that, let that be the last date you have with them, because that is likely a man who is suffering with some types of conflict with his own definition of masculinity, and in some cases even his sexual identity. But I think it's more so it's toxic masculinity, but it's also fragile masculinity. So, and you don't want to be anywhere near that mess. Those are not your clowns. That's not your circus. That is his internal work to do. Because the reality is this: dominance is a presence. It doesn't have to be spoken. Okay? And if I've ever gotten into, or in the past when I've gotten into conversations with men about this is the way I describe it. I said, imagine that you're in like a conference hall, right? Like a presentation at a college, right? And you have the professor on stage and they're giving a presentation about something. Then all of a sudden, the doors in the back open and a full-grown male lion walks in. He's not attacking anybody. He's not hungry. He just saunters in. He's not even roaring. He's just walking down the aisle of the auditorium. And he climbs upon stage and he sits there. Without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to have a lot of internal bodily reactions, because you realize that is a lion. It doesn't have to roar. It doesn't have to do anything. It could fall asleep on that stage. You never forget that is a lion. Dominance is a presence. And I use that to be a really vivid example to men who, use those words. If you have to say it, you're trying to convince yourself. And you're trying to convince some woman to go for some foolishness and shenanigans that you've cooked up. So just remember, dominance is a presence. It doesn't have to be spoken. And you need to drop, delete the number of, block, and not be in relationships with men who use those terms of dominant, alpha, they're not submissive, they're not a beta. Like, all of that really is screaming, at the end of the day, at the minimum, this man is going to be a problem for you. Don't date these men. Don't deal with them. Don't allow them access to your energy.